Do you ever feel too overwhelmed to start? Like you've done the research, you've made the plan, you've purchased the course, but still there's something blocking you and you can't put your finger on it? In today's video, I'm going to break down what's happening in your brain, and it's probably not something you thought of. Let's get into it. You may think that the problem is information. Unfortunately, that is not it. I wish it was. If it was information, then listen, I'd have everything on lock because I love a good book and I love to get information, probably like you. But unfortunately, that information, that one more course, that one more plan, that one more golden nugget that we like to look for, maybe that additional piece of research that we just didn't know that we needed, but we found it and it's like, this is the one, that new notebook that we like to purchase and then write everything down that we've already written 3 times before, thinking that that's going to, magically organize things into a way that we need and we can actually finally take the first step. That's not it. One more piece of information is not what's needed before you'll finally feel ready. Because the thing is, you won't really feel ready. You just have to take the action to become ready. But unfortunately, an unsupervised brain is what leads us to thinking that we have to feel ready before we take action. Let me give you an example. Your brain will like to happily consume information. And when we're consuming this information, it makes us feel like the movement is progress, when in reality, it's just a lot of wasted time. You think the problem is information. Maybe you need one more course, maybe you need one more plan, you need one more piece of research before you'll finally feel ready. But that's the thing, you don't need to feel ready before you take action because in reality, it's taking the action that has you to become ready. An unsupervised brain, however, is not going to have you thinking this. It doesn't like to take risk. And taking that action is taking a risk. So instead, it will happily consume information forever because consuming information gives the facade of you making movement and that movement being progress, when in reality, you are lacking the exposure to breakthrough that you actually need to become ready to do the thing and to also experience the thing that you've been looking for. A comfortable mind is a lagging mind. And that's the whole problem in one sentence. You have been mistaking comfort for readiness, and it's just not going to work that way. I have been researching horses for a while, and I find them fascinating overall. I think they're beautiful creatures. But one thing that I've been looking up is horses wearing blinders. Now, horses wear blinders to limit their field of vision. And when I'm talking about blinders, I'm talking about these things here. The little slabs that's on the side of their eyes. So it looks like this. So if you were a horse right now, this is your view, your field of vision, right? Okay. So horses wear blinders. They're actually called blinkers to limit their field of vision, which helps them focus on what's directly ahead. They restrict their peripheral vision. Now, horses are able to alternate between two different types of vision. One is called monocular vision. Now, this is where they have separate vision through each eye. And then there's binocular vision. And this type of vision that we have, where it's shared vision through both eyes. So the way that you're focusing on one thing with both eyes, that is binocular vision. And so this allows them to take in a great deal of information. But here's what's actually happening. Horses are wearing blinders, not to punish them, but to help them. Because without blinders, a horse takes in a lot of information, practically too much information, if we're going to be honest. And they're doing it all at once. They're having all this stimuli just come at them all at once. Every movement, every sound, every sight from every side. And that can be a lot. And that much input doesn't make it more capable, it disorients it. So I looked up the word of disorientation. Disorientation means to lose your clear sense of time, place, situation, and personal identity. This can be you without blinders on. You're disoriented. You've lost a sense, a clear sense, and we're looking for the information to get clarity, right? So you're losing your clear sense of time, of space or place, situation, and personal identity. Keep this in your back pocket. I promise you, we're getting there. And so without blinders, you're looking at everything at once. Every other coach's launch, every other content creator's piece of content, whether it's on Instagram, it's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, every comparison, every should I be doing this instead? Could I add this? Oh, I have another business idea. You have 15 business ideas before 9 o'clock in the morning. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But this is what blinders do. Blinders give a horse one direction, what's ahead, and they can do the same for you. Disorientation isn't a character flaw, it's a vision problem. You're not undisciplined, you're just unsupervised. And so we're going to fix that. But here's the part that costs you the most. So I'm going to draw a picture here for you. This is your vision, right? You're not unsupervised, you're just split. Part of you is holding on to the safety of a 9 to 5. Oh, that's not the right arrow. Part of you is we're gonna turn that into lemonade. There we go. Part of you is looking for the safety of a 9 to 5. There we go. Make sure you can see it. Part of you is looking for a safety of a 9 to 5. And part of you is reaching for the business, for the freedom, for more than one vacation out of the year, for self-determination of what your salary will be, for being present with your family instead of watching the clock, for actually doing the thing you know you were made to build instead of just existing. Or what is another phrase that's used often? Detaching, decentering. There we go. And you think you can hold both at full strength at the same time, but you can't. There's tension here. Like it's you and it's your mind wanting to go here, but then it also wants to go here. And here's the thing, when you try to hold them both at tension in balance or with balance, one, you can't. And two, it creates a double mind. Now, a double mind becomes unstable, like the horse without the blinders. It's disoriented, it's unstable. You don't know, it's hard to control. It's unpredictable. A double mind is two-faced. One minute it's on board with the new thing. The next minute it says, wait a second, this is something I'm not comfortable doing. Let me come back to where safety is. And it's doing that because it doesn't want to actually do what's required in order to get to this position. It wants to stay comfortable. Confusion, stress, doubt, wasted time. That's what a double mind causes. That's what it creates. It creates a life filled with it. And that's not weakness. That's just what happens when you chase two things at once. You don't get to keep both at full strength, like I said before. You lose strength trying. This is why you feel stuck. This is why you feel like you can't take that next step. This is why you're not fully confident that that's the move that you should make. It was never about doing more. It's about which direction you're facing. Here's what people miss about blinders. They're not there to limit the horse. They're actually there to help the horse reach its maximum speed. Blinders can improve a horse's performance. By reducing those distractions, the blinders can help the horse reach full optimal speed and also improve its overall efficiency. Supervision isn't restriction. It's what makes breakthrough possible instead of just more progress. And that progress is that small step increase, that 1 to 3% increase, that's progress. But you want breakthrough. I looked up a couple of additional things that an unsupervised brain prefers over a supervised brain. An unsupervised brain doesn't like to take risks. It's like a skittish horse. It doesn't like change. It prefers progress over breakthrough. It wants to remain comfortable. It wants to keep the snuggie on. So you don't need more information. You don't need another course. You need a mind that's finally aimed at the right direction long enough to move. If this is the kind of street talk that you like, I want you to hit subscribe down below because every week I'm helping women like you stop consuming and start building. And you're building so that you can walk out of the 9 to 5 and into a life and the purpose that you already know is already yours. I'll see you in the next one.